Say,
Hi! Welcome back! I forgot what we usually say.
welcome to the Wildflowers.
I hope we're on screen. I hope we're seeing Miss Peggy.
out loud.
I want to make sure you're on the screen.
Well, this is Carol.
Yes, hi.
I'm Judy.
Right, and Peggy's the
And
one.
Peggy is going to be coming around.
The mountain.
When she comes, when she comes.
Now, Carol, what is this podcast number?
This is number 24? 20,
Okay.
I think.
How do you say that in Spanish, Peggy?
24.
Muy bien.
Ah.
That's something we were just talking about before cameras, how we're
Yes.
learning,
Yeah.
we're brushing up on our Spanish.
Yes,
more,
yes.
With Duolingo, which is very
I
good.
love Duolingo, and it's
Me
free.
too,
I
yes.
mean, you could pay for it too, and then you don't get commercials, but
Yes.
it's really just little, I mean, it's just little sidebars with it.
Oh, so
Why would you pay for it?
I pay for it.
Why do you pay for it? It's free.
I know, but we paid for it.
Oh, you're nuts. How much is it if you pay for it?
We'll talk about that offline.
Well, anyway, it is free. You can do it free, and
It
it's
is, yeah.
great. You really, really learn the language. And then
No.
plus, I have somebody who does a Spanish class in our local life enrichment center.
Alvaro?
Alvaro is
Yeah.
his name. Alvaro.
Oh, yeah?
So
Yeah.
this is going to air in March. Well,
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it will. So that's pretty cool. March
Yeah.
is Women's History Month.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
So
that's right.
that's
Yeah.
very,
And
very
we are 3 women.
we
We are.
that's a very
Last
good,
time I checked.
that's very true. But you know, it's like women, like the fact that you know they have to defend themselves. We have to get a month. We should get a whole year. We should get every day. Or we should be women's.
I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't have to have a men's history month.
Exactly.
No, you got a point there. I never even thought of that, Carol.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
Wow.
don't know. All right,
Because women's history has been ignored throughout,
Yep.
really, forever. Centuries and centuries of like women
Why
being
you
ignored,
sorry?
and
Why-
they're
I'm
accomplished.
actually okay with the month. I'm going to take the
No, I'm okay with the month, but the idea that you have to designate a month for women's history and African American history says a lot about how that history has been ignored through the centuries.
Right, so now
That's my point.
But then
The
you know
end.
what? No, it's not the end, because you know what it is, and I could hear it. I could hear it in my mind. You're gonna have those people say, "Well, where is the white people history? Where is the men's
All
history?
the history
Where is
and
it?"
all the history is white and male.
Well,
Look at it. Read the history
But
books.
when
It's white male. So
I hear you. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying I can hear
I
it.
see you.
There it is. I'm just saying, but I'm okay. I'm okay with the designation. Okay.
No, it's
You know,
good.
it's just I just agreed with Carol's point. Like,
It's
okay.
But
All right. So what do you got, Carol? You got some papers in front of you. Let's talk about it.
I do. We'll talk about women. This whole thing, I don't know if people are up on it, but Don Lemon, who I like Don Lemon.
Yeah, he's okay.
You know,
He's not my favorite.
He's
well,
not my
I didn't say he was my favorite, but you
Yeah.
know, I don't mind him. But
He's had his moments.
he's in a scandal now because of the comment that he
Yeah.
made about Nikki Haley.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, and
I didn't hear about this.
Oh,
Why?
wait till you hear this.
that she's
Carrie.
running for.
Yes, I know that she's running.
No,
for
no, no.
president.
I'm saying this is why.
I want to see your face when she reads it.
So Mr. Lemon, a CNN veteran with a history
Oh,
of
something's going on with
no,
this.
the light goes on when it gets too dark, right?
Oh, okay.
Is it-
Yes.
It did that. to light.
That hurts my eyes.
Yeah, that's happened the last time. Anyway, I'm blinking now. Okay. Okay, so he's a veteran of he had a gaffe. He rolled on Thursday, well, not this past Thursday, he said on air about Nikki Haley, the 51-year-old Republican presidential candidate, she's not in her prime. Sorry. That's what he said.
How old is he? What is he, like 25 years old?
But his point was that, you know, to run for president.
At
she's
51,
at 51,
for a woman.
A woman.
Meanwhile,
she wasn't in her prime.
our last
Wow.
president was
Yeah.
70s.
And
yep.
now
And now, we have Joe Biden, who's going to, he just turned 80.
and to
or-
say, Nikki Haley, who, whatever your politics there,
Right.
but to comment on her age,
Yeah.
51.
That was
Shame on
very-
you, Don Lemon.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
very
You-
Fox-like, that
Yeah.
comment. That was
That
like,
was
Yeah,
very
it was a Fox Law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not impressed with that.
No,
Not at
no.
all.
Well, what do you think about Tucker Carlson getting all the tapes from January 6th?
oh, God. I mean, really?
Kevin McCarthy, what are you thinking?
Well,
He's gonna cut and clip them just to make it look like it was the FBI doing it.
Yeah.
Does anybody really with a brain give any credence to Tucker Carlson
Well,
anymore?
Well, there's a lot of people, a lot of brainless people. That's the problem.
I'm gonna say I caveated it.
Yeah.
With the brain. Does anybody pay much attention to
yeah,
what
but
he is?
unfortunately, the big crowd is those are without brains. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But back to Don Lemon.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was, but
Wow.
also, speaking of, women getting a bad rap, this woman, she's a news anchor, and she is from, Lisa LaFlamme, she's from Canada. She went gray. She allowed herself to
How
go.
dare she?
Yeah.
Really?
And, right.
How
I
dare
love the way
she?
that works. But, she did it when the lockdown was happening, and she goes, "Oh, it was just so liberating that she
Yeah.
kept it gray." Well, she lost her job because she let her hair go gray,
Wow.
and she's been in the business for a long time. So
Now, where was this
Yeah,
news
who does she
station?
work for?
this is in Canada.
Canada too. I thought
CTV.
better of you, Canada.
Yeah, it's CTV.
CTV.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
I'm
Wow.
surprised by that.
but it just and they'll make excuses like, "Oh, she wasn't living up to her potential," or all this stuff. It's just bogus. It's just. You still have to look like eye candy, I guess, in order to say the news.
I've been seeing that less and less because I do see, like weather people now, and women who have normal average bodies,
Right.
and they don't look like supermodels.
But they still
Right,
have to wear a dress like they're going out to a wedding.
Exactly.
Or going out to
who does it though? Sam
Las Vegas.
Sam Ryan.
Oh,
She's
the
the sports.
Yeah.
She doesn't. She wears
Right.
pants a lot.
Yeah.
And but I always notice that a lot of the women have to wear sleeveless
Yes,
dresses.
in the studio, which
to
is
show
probably
off their
freezing.
beautiful arms, and
Right,
so.
right.
But I have been seeing it a little less.
Well,
So-
to this story, what a woman that I admire in the showbiz industry is Pink,
Oh yeah.
and
I love her.
she's gray, and she's been embracing her
Yeah.
gray hair, short hair, actually
Yeah.
shorter than how I have it.
Yeah.
And she's probably my age, or
Yeah.
I right around there. A daughter with the same name too. So hey, good for you, Pink. But she rocks her gray hair, and I
Yeah.
just absolutely love
She's
that she does
amazing.
that. I love Pink.
Yeah.
I like
Me
her since
too.
she
Me too.
entered the scene. I love her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But shame on that CTV in Canada. for
Yeah,
doing
that's
Yeah.
yeah. When sometimes when I'm reading the paper and I'm like, "Oh, this is a good podcast discussion."
Yeah.
and I just
Well, men when they do it, they look distinguished.
Right.
But women
Yeah.
get criticized for it.
Yeah.
But it was the best thing I ever did. It was.
I love the way
I think
that-
you're-
I just, it was a very scary thing because
Really?
you think, well,
that's her word again.
Well, that's funny because and you mentioned we may have a podcast that might be a hair stylist in the future.
Right,
That's
right.
one of the things is hair and appearance for women can be very scary.
Yes,
and
yeah.
how it is.
Well, it's so
it's
funny because
one of the first things that people notice about
Yes.
you is your
It's
hair.
funny because when I did, you'll laugh at me right now because I'm going to say this, when we're talking about our trip that we're going to be taking, and I told my
When is that, Carol?
I was told not to talk
No,
about it.
to our audience. But no, when I mentioned to Corey about how long it's going to be, she goes,
Yeah.
"Mom, what are you going to do about your hair?" That was the first.
You know what, Carol? Today I was blowing out my hair and I said, we're going to have to find a salon for Carol
You can do
in
that.
London because they speak English and
Right.
you could explain to them what you need and then you shouldn't need to
I don't
do it
do
until
my
you
own
come
hair.
home.
I don't do my own hair. It's too
I
hard.
actually
I've had
thought
my
of
hair
it.
done when I go abroad, and like my mother-in-law has had her hair done here.
Yeah,
you just
uh-huh.
People can do hair.
Yeah, but I figured we'll do it in London because
Yeah.
we don't speak French.
Yeah.
Right.
So and she wants to be
Yes.
able to explain, like,
Get that
no, this is
Duolingo.
what my hair will look like if you don't do it correctly.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, but it's your hair can be very, it's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say, cutting my hair off was one of the best things I think
Yeah.
I've done.
Oh,
You know,
cool. No, I like it.
absolutely.
It does look-
My hair is very easy
I
to
loved
take
it.
care of.
I
Even
loved
if
it.
I have to blow it out, it's a couple of minutes. Zip, zip, zip.
Mine
I
wasn't when
wish.
it was long. It
Yeah.
wasn't. And,
Well, you have a lot of hair,
I have a
and
thick
your hair
hair.
is thick. My hair, because of my age, is a lot less. I
Yeah.
don't have as much hair as I used to, but it just makes
Yeah,
it
mine's
easier.
definitely thinned out. I can definitely
Yeah.
tell they thinned out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't. I tried to do it. One time
Yeah.
I tried to do my own hair to blow it out, and my daughter was about 10 years old at the time, and I was in the bathroom, and
She screams.
she came down the hallway,
Mrs.
Corey,
Okay.
and she saw it, and she fell on the floor hysterical. And I'm like, this is why I can't do my own hair. I can't. I'm not even kidding. But
So
whatever.
you let Corey bully you, and you're still carrying that around with you.
No, actually, I laughed so hard at her reaction because I'm like,
Yeah.
that's
Wow.
too funny.
Oh well.
So should we start with a little bit of wine?
Oh,
Oh yes. Why not?
If we
Why
must.
not?
If we must.
Okay, so this is again from the National Geographic delivery that I got, and it's so funny because the two of you are like, "Well, Carol, you don't pick out your wine, and but you guys, you pick it off the shelf. You
Yeah,
it's
I read about it first.
Well, see,
I don't pick it off the shelf. I read about it and say this. I wanted to do a wine from the next one, but the cheapest one I could find was $53.
wow.
And I said, no, I'm
That's
not
too
doing
much.
that.
We're not
It's
worth
actually in the
$53.
Chianti family, and it's a certain kind of Chianti.
Oh.
And I said, no, I'm sorry, I can't afford that.
Well,
Not yet.
I would love to do at some point having a really expensive wine and do like a taste test.
We
Yeah.
have birthdays in April. We should do it in April.
We should,
Yeah.
but have cheaper wines too, and
Yeah.
taste. When John Barber, he's the guy I did the book with, and he did the show Real People.
Right.
And one of the segments that they did was wine tasting, and he had people come up in the street to taste the wine. And some were very snobby and said, "Oh no, I know a good wine. I know a good wine," and it was the cheap stuff.
Yeah.
And then there was a homeless guy that came up, and the clip, it was hysterical, and he picked the expensive wine. he knew, but it was like
Yeah.
just goes. I think it's a matter of personal taste. But
I'd be
I'm
up for that.
talking about wine,
Yeah,
and
let's-
here
gosh.
I am. This is from Peggy. Speaking of Paris and France and stuff, this is from France. This is give me
What's the name of the wine, Carol?
this is Cavalli, I guess.
Cabernet.
Cabernet.
Probably Cabernet.
Cabernet.
And-
Cabernet.
Okay. Yes. Wait. I can't talk and pour at the same time.
All right.
Wow.
Let's see what-
Okay. All right. So this
It's
is
got Roman numerals.
Yes, yes.
2021.
2021 is $13, and
that's good.
it is I think it said on the bottle. But
Cavalli.
Cavalli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
don't know.
wait.
I think
what
it's
did I say?
probably lait. If it's French, right?
Could be. All right. So it's intensely flavored with herb-scented raspberry, blackberry, and sweet strawberry in abundance. What did I see what it was? It was a Grenache. It is a Grenache.
Oh, I like Grenache.
70%, and Syrah and Carganen.
You're supposed to drink this. It's a wine to drink after a long day of empire building.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know.
I hate those kind of reviews.
Well,
Well,
okay.
let's give a real.
All right,
review.
let's
Okay, well, wait.
Two.
All right, so it'll be March.
To healing your chakra.
Okay, healing. Chakra is the topic.
Today.
Thank you.
Let's see what this does for my chakras.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like this one.
I didn't taste anything.
What do you mean? You
It doesn't taste like pine sol. I'll say that.
Poor Katy Perry.
Very smooth.
All right, the second sip is better.
It's okay.
I like this.
I'm not, it's not the worst. And I'm not saying that to be, it tastes like a $13 bottle of wine.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well,
what
it is a $13
Yeah, that's
bottle
what it
of
is.
wine.
And I guess that's all right.
Kabali.
And I'm so sophisticated because I normally drink a 16 bottle of wine.
It doesn't it doesn't
like
leave a
the
lot
smell.
of flavor. It doesn't leave a lot of flavor on my tongue there.
Mm.
And it doesn't really have much of an aroma
No, it
either.
doesn't. That's what's getting me.
Because a lot of
No.
what you taste is what you smell too.
Yeah.
I kind of like this one. Sorry.
Okay.
No, don't be sorry.
I'm sorry.
You're allowed to like it.
Damn right I am.
Maybe it was just because the last podcast, the wine was so good.
Yeah.
I told you guys you were going to say that. I told you.
You know.
And it happened. I predicted it.
She did.
Mm.
But it,
You know, I wouldn't run out and buy it.
It's not a wax bag.
Oh, God.
That was
yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
But this,
No.
no,
I would
it's
give
not.
this like 2.5 wildflowers.
Oh, really? I would give 3.5. 3.5 wildflowers.
I'm like, all right, I'll split like 2.75.
Oh, so we're doing the 7.5 this time.
No, 2.75. It's, I don't know if I could do it 3. It's like, I don't think I would buy it.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah. Mm.
Well,
There we go.
book time.
All right, sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I don't care. I'm enjoying. More for me.
Yes.
Fine.
All right, so it is my turn for the book. Like you, Peggy, from the last time, I'm in the middle of another book, and I didn't get a lot of reading time this week, so I didn't finish it. But that's okay, because I did have this book, which I finished probably a few weeks ago, and I got sidetracked with other books, so it's a good time to bring this one out. This is called The Valley of Amazement by Amy Tan. Amy Tan is a well-known
Love Amy.
writer.
Yep, I
She
like Amy
wrote
Tan.
The Joy Luck Club. She wrote another one of your favorites, which
The
is
Bonesetter's Daughter, and then the
Kitchen God's Wife.
Kitchen
Yeah.
God's Wife, yeah.
That's just some of them. She's got many of them, but this is her last book, which I didn't know. This is her most recent book, and it came out in 2013. Her most recent novel, I should say. She wrote a memoir, I think,
okay.
most recently. But her most recent novel is this
Wow,
book.
2013.
I know, and I
Wow.
looked that up yesterday just to make sure, and I was like, am I wrong there, Carol?
No. I'm looking up
Just
something
double
else,
check.
so.
But if I am, let me know, because I did. I looked it up, but hey, maybe I got it wrong. But this is by HarperCollins. Now, I read Joy Luck Club when it came out. It was a book in college, which I thought she was one of the most beautifully written novels. And I ended up seeing the movie afterwards, which I don't know if you've seen the movie too, but the movie
I don't
was.
think I've seen the movie.
The movie was just delicious.
Joy
It
Luck
wasn't
Club. Yeah, I saw it.
disappointing.
Yeah, I liked it.
And that's very rare when you read a novel first and then you see
Right.
a book. I mean, then you see the movie.
That was the
Sometimes
one
you're
about
disappointed.
her mom and her aunts, right?
Yes, a mother
Yeah.
with her aunts. And so this story has a very similar thing. This is a very complicated mother-daughter story, right, that spans many decades. And it starts probably around 1912, I think it is. Or 1905 when we're first introduced to the main character. Her name is Violet. And she's about 7 at that time. And it takes place during the fall of the Qing Dynasty. I wrote that during the Qing Dynasty. Very complicated story, which is what Amy Tan, I think, does best.
Yeah.
And she writes, like I said, beautifully. And so I picked this book up, hooked me in the first chapter, within the
Wow.
first page or two.
I
So
love that.
again, I couldn't put it down. Now, as you can tell, this book looks a little aged. I got this at the library for $1. And again,
cool.
visit your local library. They have really great treasures there too, you know. And so I got this there. I said, oh, I love her. But so you're introduced to Violet, who is the daughter of Lulu Mimi, which is her Chinese name. But Lulu Mimi is an American who was born in California. But we meet Lulu, Mimi, and Violet while they're living in Shanghai, China, and living at a place called Hidden Jade Path, which is a very high-end, first-class courtesan house.
Oh, okay.
And Lulu Mimi is raising Violet as a single mother, and the mystery surrounding the father is an ever-present backdrop here, although we do end up learning what happens throughout the story, you know, with the father and who he is and why they come to be here. Lulu Mimi is a strong woman. She's not only raising her daughter alone in a very, you know, at a time when women are not very powerful, but she has a lot of power in her area, and she has come up with this idea of having a very first-class courtesans. And I learned a whole bunch about courtesans through this novel,
wow.
and I didn't know there was really that much of a difference.
Are they like geishas and the courtesans, or is it kind of like the same?
I don't want to speak about geisha because I don't know if it means the same or not. But courtesans are very, like, you know, you court them in the first class house. They, you know, you can marry them for a time, you know, and then they date exclusively certain men, or but it's very about what they're trained at a very early age to what you can get from the men and how to please
and how to
the
please
man.
them. It's like a geisha.
It is, I guess, like a geisha.
Yeah.
But there are different levels, and so, you know, only certain clientele visited certain kinds of, you know, gay courtesan houses, and so hers was where they had the various different courtesans. They were named after different clouds. They were called the Cloud Beauties, and hers was unique in that she ended up understanding the relationship that Western men could add to a Chinese man, and so she had the only courtesan house which attracted both clientele, and she would put them together in a business sense, and then she would profit from that. So at that time, again, turn of the century, this is what she was doing. But yet, at the fall of the Qing dynasty, which is, I love the historical part of it, it became very dangerous for her, any Westerner, to really be in Shanghai or to be in China.
Yeah.
So there's a big event that happens, and I can't talk about it because that would give too much away for this novel, and I would do you a disservice because you really have to read this to understand. But when this event happens, it changes the course of both characters forever.
Oh.
And Violet, at this time, she's 14 when this happens. So then she finds herself in a very strange twist of fate, and she has to make her way through the world in a very confining society, right? Without, you know, where the culture is very constraining for women. She was brought up to be very, you know, independent, very outspoken, and now she finds herself in an environment that doesn't support this. How is she going to survive? And so it's you get the master class in life of courtesans. You get strong women characters, and you see the parallels. And even though they may not want to parallel each other, you see the parallel between mother and daughter throughout this whole very story. The Valley of Amazement, because I was wondering what that had to do with this, is, believe it or not, it's not what you see, what it seems. It deals with the painting at the end of the day. It's a painting of a place that has significance to her mother and ends up having significance at the end of the day to Violet. But it's a theme of not everything is what it seems, right? And so that's kind of the running theme of this novel. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and I would highly recommend this novel. I thought this would take me forever to read, but it didn't. And so I can't recommend it. I love Amy Tam's work. This is another one that I'm going to say I really, really do enjoy. So well done, Amy Tam.
Awesome.
I love it.
I'll have to give it a try someday.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick a book that you've reviewed because then I have to, you know, like I have to read that extra book, and I have to make sure I'm reading a book that when it's my turn to review a book.
You can take it.
Yeah. And if it's in paperback, I'm not looking that big.
Oh, I know, that was a different, it's hard because I keep books, I always have a book in my pocketbook.
Yeah.
So when I was carrying this around, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But I read it quickly, so it was, she is such
She's
a
very
talented
good.
writer.
She is. She's very good. But I know that Joy Luck Club and Kitchen God's Wife were like her two most popular books. But my favorite was The Bonesetter's Daughter. I love that book. I have to reread it. I mean, I read it, God, I think I was working at Borders all those years ago when I read that, and I really loved it. With the Joy Luck Club, I
love
I
that
had a hard time keeping track of who was who because of the names.
Right.
And that happened to me also when I was reading, back when my brain was younger, Russian novels too.
Oh.
I couldn't keep track of the characters because they weren't familiar names to me and they were
Right.
hard to pronounce and so
That's interesting.
but she's
I
a
didn't
good
find. I
writer.
can understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because we're not familiar with it, but
Yeah.
I didn't find that too much here with that.
Yeah.
There are lots of characters, but the ones that they focus mostly on really are Violet and the mother and a couple of other ones. And I love how she ties. So she doesn't leave any loose ends here, and you get not only Violet's story, she's the main character, but you also get
Yeah.
the mother's story, her backdrop, how she ended up coming from California
Yeah.
to Shanghai, how she ended up being alone with the daughter.
Yeah.
Very. So it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this book. And I was so happy to find that at my library for $1.
Yeah.
That's
I love
Yeah.
it.
It's interesting.
it.
It's the last book that was reviewed. It was the Stephen King book that you did, and there is a connection between Stephen King and Amy Tan.
Oh, tell me.
Do you have any idea what it could be?
Did they date?
No.
Let's see. Their books were made into movies.
Well, yes, but no. They are part of a band called the Rock Bottom Remainders.
I've never heard. Oh, it remainders like books.
Well, they're
Yeah,
a band,
yeah.
but they're not awesome. They're not great. Alan Zweibel performs with them too. And, what's his name from Florida?
Remainders.
Oh, I know.
Not Carl Hyacin.
Oh, that's who I was thinking.
No, oh gosh. We did an event with Matt Malloy with, because he did it with Alan.
Dave Barry?
Yes, Dave
Oh, okay.
Barry. He's part of the band, and I forget what else, but it's just hysterical. And Amy plays the tambourine.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Yeah, and
I love the name because Remainders
Yes,
is the title of what Borders used to call their
Yeah.
books.
That's why
Those
they
are the
did
books
that.
Yeah.
Put it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually wrote for Huffington Post, and my title of it was "I Want to Be a Rock Bottom Remainder," and it was all about getting published. And
Yeah.
just let me get a traditional publishing deal so I
Yeah.
can be part of the. Not that I can sing at all, but I'll play the tambourine.
Oh, you can sing.
No, but yeah. So it's like So I was thinking about it. I was like, oh wait, they were both.
Bobby McGee.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably do Janis
Karaoke
Joplin.
Carol.
Karaoke Carol. But
That's
yeah,
another story.
yeah, exactly. Thank you, Judy.
So that's very good. I didn't know about this book though. But
Yeah, no, I
how
don't
come she's
remember.
not writing anymore?
I don't know.
Since
That's
20
kind of weird.
There is a documentary about her on Netflix, I believe it
Oh,
is. Yeah,
really?
yeah,
Because I'd love to. It's 10 years now. We need another Amy Tan novel.
definitely.
She's got a lot to say still, I'm sure.
Don't start.
Go lay down, Lacey.
All right, so what is our topic now?
All right, so our topic is, God help you all, I know very little about this topic.
But why did you pick it then?
Okay, I'm going to tell you. The topic is about chakras. And I actually have no knowledge of chakras. I had a very, very vague knowledge of chakras.
Right.
But it isn't something that I was ever interested in. And we should light the incense and get
You want me
in
to
the
do
mood.
it? I'll do it and you can talk.
So the reason why I picked this topic was because I recently went through radiation treatment because I had breast cancer, which fortunately I do not have any longer. And my last day of radiation was last Friday. And before I had my last treatment, a woman approached me in the waiting room, and she was a certified reflexology person. I don't know what they are.
Right.
Very, very nice woman named Sandy, works for Northwell. And in their cancer centers, they have all these complementary medicine things that you could go to, like acupuncture and yoga and reflexology and meditation, and which I think is pretty cool. It's not many.
Open-minded, yeah.
Yes, really. So she said, do you know that, like you could get this reflexology segments, I don't know what it's called, an appointment,
Treatment.
like for a treatment, thank you, I lost the word, for free. It's all paid for with a grant, I think from New York State, and, so she said, would you like to do it? You could do it right after your last treatment. So I love having my feet rubbed. So I said, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
She said, all right, I'll meet you out here after your last treatment.
Lacey, no.
So I went in there in the room and they put me on this very, very comfortable like bed, and my head was raised, and I was soaking wet because on the way to the treatment, the skies opened up.
Oh, God. No.
And I couldn't find a parking spot, and they were supposed to have valet parking, and they didn't have it. So I found a parking spot, and I had to run into the building. In seconds, I was soaking wet. Excuse us a minute.
I'm sorry, I've got a dog behaving.
And I'm choking.
Is that making? It's probably the
Maybe,
incense.
I don't know. It's kind of close.
Yeah. Well, we might
Yeah.
have.
Why don't we put it over there?
Okay. All right. That's a good idea. The
Sorry about
incense
this.
is
There's
stealing my
live
thunder
TV.
here.
Sorry about that. We don't want to.
Incense and dogs stealing my thunder. Let's try not to set
Although I do
fire
love
here.
incense, but I'm not usually that close to it.
Yeah, sometimes it's very overpowering.
Yeah.
Because I live in a small apartment. When I burn it, it's like woo.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Sorry about
I
that.
finally got in there. I was soaking wet. My shoes, my socks, my pants, my jacket.
Oh
You
my
could have wrung
God.
out.
Wow, that's
My hair. I was soaked.
Oh.
So I was like all uncomfortable, but then I had to change into the hospital gown and the robe. And I spoke with this woman, Sandy, about, the foot thing. And I went in and I had my last treatment. When I came out, she took me into this room and they put on music and they dimmed the lights. And when she was taking my socks off, she said, oh my God.
Oh, Peggy.
Okay.
So, she said, just relax and, like try and concentrate on something, like something that brings you joy. And I have a hard time meditating. I have a hard time with that.
Me too.
I have like ADD and my brain is all over the
Like a
place
snow globe.
all the time. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'm just gonna relax and really, really enjoy this. I just went through a week of hell, and I'm very grateful that I am fine. And I relaxed myself, and she would say, okay, relax your shoulders, relax your head, and I'm really trying to do it. And she is just doing these wonderful things to my feet. And sometimes massage can be like deep and painful.
Yes.
But for some reason, the way she was doing it, there was no pain involved. It was only like comfort and relaxation. And she said to me, her key words were, think of something that brings you joy. And I thought of my sisters. I thought of Nora and Maureen and Monica and Bridget, and when we go on our sister vacations,
right.
and how we just laugh for like 4 or 5 days that we're together, and we just have such a good time being with each other. And that's what came into my mind. So now I'm laying there with my eyes closed, and all of a sudden I start seeing these green clouds behind my eyelids, and they were just floating around, and they were changing shapes, and in the middle of it was always like, almost like I was looking through them. I felt like I only saw them with my right eye. I didn't see anything here. I only saw them with my right eye, and the hole in the middle was like me looking through them. And they were light green, like key lime pie.
Okay.
And I am saying to myself, what the fuck is this? This was so, it made me feel, I don't even know how it made me feel. I just did not want it to go away, so I was afraid to move. I said, don't move. Just stay
Yes.
where you are, because I want this to stay with me, whatever it is. And I was just watching these light green clouds swirling all around this black circle, like it was really like a dark gray circle. And I thought, well, I have green eyes. Maybe I'm seeing like the back part of my eye.
Oh, that's interesting.
And the black part is my pupil.
Oh, that's really
So I just really concentrated on keeping that image because it was so enjoyable and relaxing. So then my session is over, much to my chagrin, because it was just such a great experience, and I had never experienced anything like that. And I've had a reflexology session before, but it wasn't from any certified person. It was like one of those places that you go in the neighborhood and you think it's probably really a hooker joint. So then, it was, over and the lights are still low, and, and she mentioned like the socks. And I said, no, I'm not putting on those socks again. I said, I'll just wear my shoes. They're wet, but I'm not putting on those wet socks. And there was a curtain around the bed that I was on. And on the other side, there was a nurse. And she said, oh, I have socks. I have socks. So I said, oh, okay, great. Thank you so much. So it was dark, and she came into the room, and there was a closet there, and she just pulled out a pair and handed them to Sandy, who was putting them on my feet. And then I told Sandy, I sat up and I said, I have to tell you something that happened to me. I said, I've never had this experience before. And I explained to her what was going on. And she said, it's green, it's your heart chakra. That's the color of the heart chakra. She said, and the nurse, now the lights are still out, and the nurse said, that gave us the socks, she said, I'm gonna turn on the lights, and you're gonna be very surprised because it was pitch dark in that closet. I just grabbed a pair, but I'm gonna turn on the lights and look at the socks, and the socks were green.
Wow.
So, and I said, what was it? And then she explained to me, she said, do you know about chakras? And I said, I've heard of them, but no, I don't really know about them.
Right.
And I said, but that was such a wondrous experience for me. And I said, and green is my favorite color. And I saw green, and my eyes are green, and now I have green socks on. So, and that's why I said, well, let me learn a little bit more about chakras.
Well, the experience made you want to learn.
Yes, it did. And Northwell Health has this, you could go to, it's a wellness center in Roslyn, and you can take yoga classes, you could get acupuncture, you could get reflexology sessions. They have all this complementary medicine also, to help people get through their struggles with whatever health, problems they are struggling with. And I thought, that's great that they do that.
Yeah.
It really is. It's unusual.
Right, exactly.
So, So anyway, I was very pleased with all of my care with Northwell. I have very good doctors. Everybody there was so kind and helpful, and I'm glad I never have to go back. But I might go to that wellness center because I want that experience again.
I was going to say, yeah.
I really do. And I've been reading about chakras now, and I it's kind of a hard thing to wrap my head around.
Yeah.
Like the definition of a chakra is not anything tangible, but it's kind of like they said there's 178,000 chakras, but there are 7 main chakras.
Right.
And a chakra, as they describe it to you, is like, say for instance, there were 2 cones with the pointy ends together, and the open part, one facing the front of your body and one facing the back of your body. And that's what your chakra is. They're like spinning discs in your body, and they each control a different part of your psyche, I guess, your life, your energy. They're energies. So I'm going to tell you what they all are. I mean, Judy, I know that you're familiar with chakras, like you're into acupuncture and a lot of the complementary medicine things.
If you had gone through acupuncture and had that experience, what we would say is you had an acu-high.
Oh, really?
That's right. You have told
Yeah.
me about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
very real thing with that.
Well, it's really weird because I didn't even think of it until just now when you said that many years ago, in the 70s when I was a hippie chick, I used to do acid. I did.
Yeah, right.
And I had a couple of those things where, like, I was looking at a friend of mine and all of a sudden his head turns into this thing with this rainbow helmet on it and there was colors
Wow.
coming all out of his head and it was like, oh, what the heck?
Yeah.
You know, but I knew nothing about chakras or anything like that at the time.
And did you feel a bit high or something afterward? Like,
You mean
state
with the-
that she was-
No, I didn't feel high, but I felt like I want this. I want to do that again.
Yeah, which is
Because it was
yeah,
so.
addictive.
Right,
I think
right.
it was probably the most relaxed and fascinating at the same time that I ever had.
And the fact that you didn't want it to end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's,
Yeah.
you know, it's like this
Yeah.
is
And I was so afraid of losing it. That was
Oh,
like in my
that's-
mind. It was
yeah.
like, don't
Wow.
go away, don't move, don't open your eyes.
So
it might
you
go
can be
away.
very prone to this. So you were very open, is what we would say. You would
Yeah.
be very
Yeah.
open
Yeah.
to being receptive to treatment and,
Yeah.
and getting the benefits of,
Yeah.
of
So
chakra
you
treatment.
were thinking of your sisters,
Yeah, I was thinking of a joyous moment.
and then all of a sudden,
And then all of a sudden, all these green, because that was my heart chakra, and your heart
Yeah.
chakra is concerned with compassion, relating to others, and unconditional love. And that's my relationship with my
oh,
sisters.
absolutely.
You know, like we all relate to each other. We love each other unconditionally, even if sometimes you say, "Oh, you're a fucking asshole," you know.
Yeah,
You know, but and of course we all have compassion for each other.
Right,
Yeah.
of
So-
course.
So the 7 chakras, the
The
base
main
ones, the
ones,
main ones, are the base or the root chakra, which starts from. I thought it was your feet, but it's not your feet. It's like really below your pelvic area,
Yeah.
right there. So that symbolizes survival instincts, safety, grounding, and taking nourishment at a basic earth level. So that's all like your earthly things, like you're rooted to the earth, right? I mean, you know more about this than I do. I'm just.
No, I mean, you know, later on, but no, I'm not an
Yeah.
expert on this, you know.
And then the next one is the sacral chakra, and that's a little. It's in your lower abdomen, like your below your stomach, below your navel.
Belly button, yeah.
Right. And that relates to the emotions, sex, and creativity. Okay, and then the next one is your solar plexus
Solar
one.
plexus, yeah.
And that is linked to willpower, personal power, the mind, and the intellect. And then there's the heart chakra.
Green.
And she actually told me when I was laying there, she said, maybe your chakra is unbalanced. So she said, just lay here. She said, put your hands like this over your heart. And then by then I was like, I don't know what's going on with me, you know. So I'm going to look into it a little more. The heart chakra is concerned with compassion, relating to others, and unconditional love. And then there's the throat chakra, which corresponds to communication, the truth, and creativity. And the brow chakra relates to ESP. Like you're very intuitive, so you must have a strong chakra there. ESP, inner wisdom, intuition, and psychism. And then the crown chakra is associated with spirituality, the universe, and linking with deities and the higher consciousness.
Right.
So, I had all of us take this little quiz.
It was very in-depth.
It is. And it was pretty fast
Yeah.
about it. So, I mean, do you have any experiences with chakras? And I know you see auras on people.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's the difference?
Well, you know that I do acupuncture, and I am
Right.
a big fan. I started acupuncture regularly about 2 years ago. I did it a long time ago for briefly, and then I revisited it about 2 years ago, and I go twice a month. Amityville Wellness, really great place. Shout out to Devin, who's awesome. But yes, part of the regular treatment with the once a month I go twice a month, but one session a month is a chakra treatment. And so it balances a chakra, we focus on a different chakra balancing treatment. But before we started that, and for about a year or so, I would used to do straight in the middle acupuncture. You know, and I've told you before
Oh, yeah.
of things that happen during treatments. And you're absolutely right, the visualization, you know, you can start with the colors, with the chakra, whatever chakras are at play at the time, but it can progress from there. And it has, at least for me. And not everybody has that experience, but I think you're very open to, if this happened to you in your very first treatment, I think that's a really great start. But I've seen many benefits to acupuncture and for the balancing of the chakras.
Yeah.
I love it when Western and Eastern medicine can come together. I think complementary is a great way to deal with this.
Right.
And I just think it's something that more people should take advantage of.
Yeah, I was reading, I got this book in Barnes & Noble. It was a bargain book. It was $5, and I said, let me pick it up. I just got it 2 days ago, so I really didn't get to look at it in depth. But they do talk about, and some of the things online about complementary medicine and how it's good, like don't stop going to your doctor. They're saying, you know, traditional medicine, you know, is helpful to you, but there's also complementary medicine, and most people use a combination of them. Some people do the whole, you know, Chinese medicine thing, and they stay away from the Western medicine, and you know, whatever works for you. But I just, you know, I was just, it surprised me that happened to me, because I'm a person who can't even get herself to meditate for like 5 minutes.
I'm very surprised, but I'm pleasantly surprised. I love that you had that experience.
Yeah.
I hope you do it again.
I am going to do it again, because my breast surgeon gave me a gift certificate for that wellness center for $150.
Oh.
So I said, I think I'm going to go. And I like the reflexology. You know, I'm not going to do yoga or anything. I'm not really into sitting on the floor and being uncomfortable, and my back's going to hurt. So, but how about you? Did you have any kind of like experience like that ever, where like an out-of-body experience?
No,
or?
I think I'm too guarded.
Yeah.
I know
I remember when you went for your past life thing.
Yeah,
That's
and,
right.
And he was like, no, you're not giving up. I said, I can't. I'm just very guarded.
I'd be interested to know what her chakra says about that, what her chakra results say about
well,
that.
you know, so we could do that right now.
Because
so
I have a feeling that might be a blocked chakra for you.
okay, so here's yours,
I know
Carol.
we don't know what these results say.
And here's Judy's.
Okay.
Okay.
Peggy scored them. So.
Okay, yes, I did. I scored them.
Okay.
So let's see. So we'll do it chakra by chakra. So the quiz started with chakra 1, which is the root one.
Right.
And it's earth, survival, and grounding. And I got a score of 22 points. What did you get, Carol?
22.
You
I got 25.
Okay, that's very good.
Now root is this color here, this like kind of orangey color. I have incense here.
Yes,
So
okay.
I always, this is my own incense. Before I knew you were doing this stuff, I burn this incense at home. And so depending on what chakra I want to work on.
So according to this, it said the root chakra, I am always safe at the center of my being. The first chakra begins at the base of the spine. The root chakra corresponds to the earth element and to the roots we've planted, how strong they are, how deep they are, how supportive they are. It coincides with fundamental needs like food, water, shelter, home, and family. When in balance, we feel grounded, secure, and safe. When out of balance, we feel insecure and anxious. We experience weight gain, depression, and stress. The location is at the base of the spine, and the color is red. That chakra
So
is
maybe
red.
this is red. It's supposed to be.
And the element is earth. So when I was reading all of these, all the elements, it was earth, fire, water, air. I used to watch that show Avatar, not the movies, the show Avatar.
that one.
Oh my God, it's fantastic. It's an animated thing that Riley got me into. And it's wonderful. And like you could be an earthbender or a firebender. Your girls would love it.
Oh, okay. I'll
Yeah, you
download
should.
that.
It's on Netflix,
Okay.
Avatar. It's great.
Okay.
And I said, oh my God, that's what that's based on. It's based on chakras.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway.
So what's the top score for this?
So this is the way they score it. Oops. Pardon me. Okay, so anything 22 to 28 indicates a very strong chakra.
Okay.
Okay.
So
All right.
we
So we're
all
good.
got a strong one on that.
Yeah.
Yours is even stronger than ours. We're
Yeah.
22, you're 25.
Okay.
So you're very connected with the earth.
I'm not surprised. at all.
Exactly. Okay. And anything 13 to 21 are the average range but could use improvement. And anything 6 to 12 indicates a weak chakra, but none of us got that.
Oh,
No,
all right.
No.
So on the second one, chakra 2, which is the sacral chakra,
One.
We did.
okay, I got a 22.
We got 19.
You
on
got
this one.
19.
Oh no. What's that one?
Okay,
no.
chakra is I flow with the rhythms of life. The sacral chakra corresponds to emotional
one.
and sexual energy in the body. Located in the lower abdomen, the sacral chakra coincides with the element of water. Like water, the sacral energy controls fluidity, versatility, and freedom, whether sexual, emotional, or creative.
Well, the reason she got 22 is because she got stuck in the rain.
That's right, it's the water one, exactly. When in balance, we feel creative and abundant with
Yeah.
pleasure and fulfilling relationships.
Wow.
When out of balance, we feel emotionally unstable, sexual dysfunction, and lack creative energy. In the body, the sacral chakra connects with reproductive issues and lower back pain. It's above the pelvic bone, and the color is orange, and the
Yeah,
element is
orange.
water.
Yeah.
So this has a lot to do with your creativity,
Yeah.
and whatever you are creative with. So, I mean, you
No,
are
that's
a writer.
interesting. But I'm surprised for you because you're very creative.
Well, that's good. She was in a strong one, yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so chakra number 3 is fire, power,
We're
will.
matching up again.
That's the navel one.
Oh, yeah.
I stand in my personal power. Located in the upper abdomen, the navel chakra coincides with self-esteem and asserting yourself. The chakra governs personal power and identity and connects to digestion and metabolism. When in balance, we feel confident with a sense of purpose and motivation. Now, which ones? You both
I got
22, 22. I got 23.
Yeah,
Wow.
you probably cheated.
Yeah, I did. I just made myself look great.
Yeah.
Okay. When out of balance, we feel domineering or aggressive and have low self-esteem.
But wait, that's so interesting. You feel domineering but low self-esteem.
Like a bully.
Like a bully.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So we don't feel that way, right? Because
No,
we're
we
all
don't.
good.
We're in balance with that. It's a strong. We're in the strong chakra range.
We just lack creativity.
No, we don't. She's a writer. I'm a photographer.
I am nothing creative. I
Yes,
don't.
you are.
You're gardening and all of that.
Yes, and
No,
raising
I don't have the
animals. That
time.
is creative.
No, you have no time to be as
To be creative.
as
The color is yellow and the element is fire.
So it's funny here. The yellow color is called solar plexus, and you said it was called.
Yes, here they're saying navel, but
Okay.
in other
Oh, you wrote
places it's solar plexus. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're up to number 4.
Uh-huh.
Number 4, I got 25.
Wow, I only have a
22.
20. I have a little one.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
but that's
no.
still a strong range. It's
Wow.
still strong,
And that's green.
right?
That's my favorite color.
I know, mine too.
That's That's the heart one.
That's so weird. I mean, I would think you would be.
Oh, what's going on with me?
20 is still,
Devin, we're gonna have to have a good session.
oh no, 20, you need improvement.
Oh no.
You need
All right, so
improvement with that
I'm gonna
chakra.
have to work on this one.
Okay,
next
so
time.
that's the heart chakra. And that is, I open my heart to fully living. The 3 upper and 3 lower
Maybe I was being too
chakras connect
conservative.
in the center of the body at the heart chakra. So everything joins in the middle. The heart chakra corresponds with love, compassion, kindness, and harmonious relationships with ourselves and others. When in balance, we feel love, compassion, and forgiveness for ourselves and others. When out of balance, we feel unworthy, codependent, and disdainful. We may also experience high blood pressure or poor circulation.
That's
But you're not out of balance. Out of balance would be a lower than like 12.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Location, center of the chest, the color is green, and the element is air.
Oh gosh, my next one looks awful. I'm almost out of balance on this next
Oh, wow.
one.
5 on
I can't,
23.
is that a 6?
21.
21.
Wow. And I'm paying all this money for chakra balancing. I don't know what's going on.
Get your money back. All right, so this is chakra 5, is the throat chakra.
I have always had problems with my throat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's always
Yeah.
a trouble for me. The throat and the shoulders are my big issues.
Well, you would think with me, with my neck and my shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised with this one.
I follow and speak my truth. The throat chakra relates to how we communicate and express ourselves. Because it represents the first of the upper spiritual chakras, the lower 4 chakras must align for the throat chakra to balance. When in balance, we speak, listen, and express ourselves openly and authentically, which you do.
You can't shut me up half the time.
But I don't know why you say seldom, because it's often for you.
Really? So I don't. Maybe I was just being
Yeah,
too
you're being harsh
conservative.
on yourself.
Yeah, no,
maybe
you-
I
The,
was
the,
being
the
harsh on
thing in
myself.
here that, I'll finish reading this, and then
Okay.
there was something in here that I had to actually go in and look up the word, even though I knew what it meant, but I couldn't connect it with
With
this.
that-
Although it says
So-
I'm a God listener.
Okay,
Yeah, through-
when out, I know, there's a lot of typos
Yeah.
in here.
Yeah.
When out of balance, we have difficulty expressing our needs and listening to others. We can develop a sore throat or neck and shoulder pain.
Although I haven't
Oh,
had that
that's
in
right.
years, I have to say, but that used to be a really big problem for me. But it's
Yeah.
been a few
Oh, I
years.
have neck
Yeah.
pain.
The
all
color
time.
is blue, and the element is, it says space here, but it's the air.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so there was something in here.
Oh, I did good on my next one. Let's read that one.
Oh, and I did poorly.
Oh yeah, let's read that
So
one.
that was,
Let's do that one.
Well, that one's, yeah, really bad.
No, it's not because it's 13, but still,
Well, mine's 16.
this was 15.
see, this is the one in here. Do you have a resonant voice? So I know resonant is like, you know, getting your voice out there. It has to do with
We both put the
singing.
same thing.
What did you
Oh,
put?
yeah, I put.
We put no.
I put never.
Never.
Never?
One.
See,
I'm
I
thinking
put,
musical. That's what I was like, oh.
well, I put often because I looked it up and then I said, I think to relate to this, it had to mean was, do you speak with confidence? Are you resonant? Are you articulating your feelings and communicating effectively to people?
Oh.
So that's how I took it. So I put often, I didn't put always because sometimes I don't.
And I took
You
it
know.
a little different. I didn't look it up, but I picture when I picture somebody with a resonant voice, I think of some like a very good public speaker like Obama. You know,
Well,
somebody
that's
like
what
that.
when I looked
I
it
don't
up,
speak like him,
resident,
yeah.
it said, you know, it had to, a lot of it had to do with singing. And then I said, okay, now I have to interpret that, like, you know, how does it relate to this? And that's the way I
That was very
interpreted
smart,
it, so.
Peggy.
So, all right, so now we're up to number 6 is the third eye one. That's the one right here. They call it your
That's
third
why I
eye.
got a high one.
Yeah.
Yep, I got 16.
Yep, it's light, intuition, and seeing.
What did you get?
I got 19 on this
Oh.
one.
I got 26.
Yeah. That does not surprise me because you're very intuitive.
Right.
Okay, so what paper am I on? Number 6, third eye.
Oops. Which is, we have it here somewhere.
Okay, I follow the path of truth and intuition. The third eye chakra sits at the top of the spine between the eyebrows and relates to how we connect the external world with our internal dialogue. When balanced, we trust our intuition, release our ego, and develop strong inner wisdom. When out of balance, we become cynical and too attached to external circumstances. We may also have problems with headaches and vision. And the color is indigo, and it encompasses all of the
Yeah.
elements.
You see,
So-
a couple of these I put question marks because I really wasn't sure.
Which
Like,
ones?
are you able to imagine new possibilities as solutions?
I saw that you put that,
Yeah.
and I said, no, we dwell in possibilities,
I mean,
Carol.
I
Really,
know,
all the
you do.
time we say that to each
You
other.
guys have started 2 businesses.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and when I saw that, when I was grading it, I said, why did she put that? We do. We always come up with something new. All right, that's not going to work. Let's do this.
Yeah.
that's-
Yeah,
you know.
you're too hard.
So-
I know, you're right.
Yeah.
And then this other one, are you able to see the bigger picture of your
Yeah.
life?
Of course you
Yes.
can. What is the bigger picture of your life?
Tell us.
I want to get traditionally published.
But that isn't the bigger picture.
Big
That's the
picture.
focus on one thing.
For me, that seems to be.
No, but it isn't. But
You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know if that's true.
Okay.
Because like think of your bigger picture. Like to me, the bigger picture of your life is when I die, what do I want people to think Peggy Zirin was? Who was Peggy Zirin? That was my biggest picture.
Okay.
Like who was she? You know,
And what do you want people to think?
I want people to think of me with kindness.
Well,
That's what I want. That's it. Think of me with kindness.
Right, that you were a kind person, you mean?
Think of me with kindness in your heart. That maybe I'm a flawed person in some ways, but think of me like how you knew me, like how I always strove. I do strive. I strive to be as good as I can be to other people,
Right,
and
right.
to open myself to other people.
Right.
And I there's actually a song that I love, and the name of the song is "Think of Me with Kindness." It just popped
really?
into my head.
funny.
Yeah, and like when you're not here anymore, you just want people to think, oh, like Carol, like your kids, like, oh, my mom was great. My mom really loved us and
Right,
and
right.
spent as much time with us as she could. She never gave up on trying to get her book published. She just kept on
didn't give up.
trying and
No, I mean, I did get published, but I just want to
You
get
did.
that next.
yeah,
thing.
and that could happen. Like you're not dead yet, are you?
Maybe I am.
Are you? Am I just seeing you with my visions?
Yeah, really. I hope this isn't boring all you out there.
No.
Well, anyway, then the next one is the crown one. That's number
Which
7.
Is like a purplish or pink? Purple?
That one is violet or white.
Okay.
Okay, and there is only divine oneness. This is the
Oh.
one that I struggle with. I only got
I got
19 on
I got a
this.
20.
I know, I got 19.
I got 18.
Yeah.
Oh, so we all have to work on this one.
I know. Well, I don't really believe in God.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah,
that's my
that's- yeah.
problem.
So
That's
what did you
really
put?
what this is.
Oh, so you do? Mm-hmm. Okay.
No, I don't. Which one are you? Are you?
I'm looking at like, do you a strong connection with some
Yeah, no,
higher-
I put never.
Well, no, you do have a connection.
I have
with
a very
higher-
strong connection with a higher power. Absolutely.
Yeah. You know what? I think my higher power is nature. And I don't know if you
So
can
then why
count
didn't you
that.
put the, why it said that?
Because it isn't like something that
God,
governs
and
me.
spirit.
It isn't something.
It doesn't say that's to govern you. It
I
says,
know.
do you feel a strong connection
A
with
connection,
some kind of
yeah.
higher or greater power?
Is nature a greater power, or is it just something
Nature,
that
isn't nature
exists?
the most important power?
Well, it's saying God, goddess,
guess.
spirit, etc. I don't know what the etc. is, but
Yeah,
yeah, I said never.
yeah.
Fine.
So anyway,
I
the
used
quote
to.
here is, there is only divine oneness, Sasharara. is the final chakra that corresponds to the spiritual being. This chakra allows you to transcend the physical world for a divine experience.
Like
Did I just-
enlightenment, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, enlightenment.
When in balance, we feel enlightened and a spiritual connection to our higher selves. When out of balance, our happiness depends on external conditions. We become hypersensitive and struggle to function. Okay, it's outside the body, the location, and hovering above the crown of the head. It's violet, and the element is cosmic energy. So that's the 7 major ones.
Now, where did you see this?
Yeah, where did you
test?
get this from?
I started Googling around and I said, I'm going to do a quiz about chakras, and I found some of them.
I'm going to give this to my acupuncturist and
Yeah.
see him this week.
I could send you the link to it. It's
No,
a
I'm going to give him my
PDF.
scores.
Okay.
I'm going to be like,
Okay.
fix me.
Yeah, but really, you really don't need fixed. They're not out of balance.
No, it's not too bad.
15 is out of balance for you.
So that was my...
Oh no, 15.
No.
Yeah,
I thought it
15
was
just means
13.
needs improvement.
Yeah.
It's on the back of it. 13 to 21 are average range, but could use improvement.
What's the name of that chakra again, number 5?
Number 5 is.
I'm going to write that down. I'm taking your pen.
Is the throat chakra.
Oh, yeah, well, I shouldn't be shocked there. Okay. Okay. I'm writing that down.
So you felt like you learned a lot, even though you picked this topic. I didn't know why you picked this topic till.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
Yeah, I know. I said, oh boy, they're gonna be surprised.
I am surprised. And I was.
I saw you. You said, hooray!
Because I've been going, like I said, for doing this for years, and
Yeah.
I find so much benefits. But usually people think you're crazy, like when you
Yeah.
start talking
Oh,
about
I
this,
don't, I
and
don't.
Yeah.
it's so I don't know why more people don't.
You
do
know what?
stuff
I
like
don't
that.
think
They're
people
probably
are
like me.
crazy, but it's hard for me to say, yeah, I have all these chakras in me, and like I'm really not connected with it. I'm not convinced. I had this one experience, which I don't know. Maybe it was a flashback from my acid age days. I don't know.
Well, I did. You know me. I'll say this on camera. I've never done drugs in my life.
right,
yeah.
I'm very proud of that. But I have to say the closest I've ever had to being high was coming off of
Yeah.
acupuncture.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so I've seen these
Yeah.
stuff that you're talking about and more.
Yeah.
And it's not some acid flashback because I've never done acid.
Yeah.
I've never done
Well,
drugs.
you know, they're doing LSD and acid now is becoming like they're trying. People have they're going to start using it in therapy, but under very controlled
Right.
circumstances, because it's supposed to be very effective for people to connect with themselves and.
It helps
You
with
know.
other, because I just got finished watching Chelsea Handler's documentaries. She has a series, and the last one was Chelsea Does Drugs.
Yeah.
And she does do drugs anyway, but she went with some friends into the jungle somewhere, and there was this certain plant that they melt it down
Yeah.
and you drink it.
the
And
coca plant.
I don't think it's a cocoa plant, and if I knew we were going to be
Coconut,
talking about
yeah.
this, I
Yeah.
would have paid more attention to what exactly it was. But when she did it with her friends, and they were in the room with her, and there was somebody guiding them, she didn't experience anything, and they were vomiting. They said you could vomit, you could get these visions and stuff. She wanted to go back by herself, and that's when she got these flashbacks of her childhood, and she saw herself as a child, and she said it was just amazing. But that was
Yeah.
through
Michael Pollan, I think it was, did a whole book on it because he went through that process. He said, I do not recommend people just getting acid and dropping it and you're by
Right,
yourself. He said it was very, very guided. He did it with a therapist. And he found it very helpful. I forgot the name of the book. The book was pretty well known. Came out a few
You
years
don't have
ago.
to do drugs. You do acupuncture. I mean, I'm telling you, not only this, but as you know, is that with the acupuncture, the visions you have can
Yeah.
be so. I mean, I have been shown different time and space.
I was gonna say.
I know
to
with
gone
your
through
past
different,
lives.
no, not even
Yeah.
past life, because that wasn't involved
Yeah.
but I mean, to go through different universes, wormholes, like to travel through space, literally.
Yeah.
Right.
You could do that with just acupuncture or chakra treatment.
Yeah.
The power is all in your mind.
Yeah.
And to see these things is just amazing.
Wow.
I wouldn't give it up if I mean, it's something I budget for. I'm like, no, I'm going back.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
It's been very enlightening, and it's not unique. I've looked at, see if anybody else has had this. It's a real thing that
Right,
you can
right,
find
right.
on here. This is benefits.
Now, when you have the acupuncture, where are they putting the
It
the
depends
pins?
on what they're working on.
Oh,
It
okay,
depends
so
on what they're working on.
are you doing it for physical pain mainly?
No.
No, so they're not targeting like you say, oh, my neck hurts,
Yeah,
and
no. It's all different. Like once a month, I do a chakra treatment, so we focus on a different chakra, and so, and I have to say, not every session. Like the last session I had last week wasn't very good. I didn't have any sort of, and I was like, oh, damn, what the heck, But most of the times I do,
Yeah.
and so it's super eye-opening and has opened your third eye. You can.
So
Just
is
these
the acupuncture the chakra treatment, or that's two separate things?
Is the acupuncture. I think it works on the chakras. I think you have acupuncture that can do certain things. So if you have a pain, if you have like sciatica, or if you have stress,
It's like
or something-
reflexology,
Right, it's like
right.
that. But you can also target your chakra, which is a certain treatment, because the chakra treatment is a little bit more than just acupuncture. We use scents, we use singing bowls, which I was like, oh, what is
okay.
this? This is kind of weird. Holy crap.
Yeah.
The first time I was in there with these singing bowls, I was like, this is going to be a little hokey for me. And for me, that says a lot, and I was like, I don't know. It like goes through you. You can feel the waves of the bowl going
Oh,
through
wow.
your body as it's going. Really, it's hard to
Yeah.
explain.
Right,
It's
unless
really
you've
hard
got
to
it, right.
explain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's really
great.
interesting.
I bought tape for Christmas, one of those drums. What the heck is it called? A thumb drum? They use it in meditation, and it's
Is-
got symbols on it.
Oh, I don't
And you
know.
could get these finger things to do it, a finger drum.
Okay.
And it makes those tones like almost like gongs, but you
Okay.
can play music with it. And it's used a lot with meditation and yoga. And
Why did you get that for him?
because he's a percussionist, and I said, this is pretty cool. I was just Googling around, and I said, oh, and when I got it, like I tried it, and the sound is like phenomenal. And sometimes I think of that. I said, I should get myself a little one, because they said it helps you in meditations.
Ah.
So I never see it, and I said to Jessica a couple of weeks ago, I said, he never uses that drum. She says, Mom, it's up in his room, and every time he goes in his room, I hear him do something with it.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh, that's cool.
Would you do meditation, acupuncture, or reflexology? Or
I think I'd like to try acupuncture for the pain in my neck.
Yeah.
I would like to do that, but I don't know,
Okay.
at some point.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely going to do the reflexology, because it just felt so good too, and maybe I could have that experience
And
again.
I wouldn't want you to be disappointed if you don't.
Well, if I don't, still my feet will feel good. So.
well, that's a positive outlet. No, that seriously
Yeah.
is a good outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you guys? What about you? I can't hear
Yeah.
you.
Give it a shot. And sometimes, especially with acupuncture, everybody expects a quick fix. It usually
Yeah.
takes a few sessions
Right,
to
right.
feel any sort of, especially if you're going for pain. So
Yeah.
don't think if it doesn't work the first time, it's not
It's-
going
right,
to work.
right.
There's a lot of blockage for the energy that has to be moved. So
Yeah.
Once again, Peggy, I mean, you picked
Good
an
topic.
interesting topic.
Yeah, it was interesting to look into. I wish I had been able to put a little more time into it,
But
I will. I have my $5 book here,
But the thing is,
and there's a chapter on chakra
they
healing.
are.
once again, research.
Reiki.
She's our research
Yeah,
guru.
we're coming out of our,
Yeah. Oh, and then this year, I love essential oils. I've been putting frankincense in my facial lotion.
Oh.
And you know what? It smells so good. It makes me feel good smelling it. I read it somewhere. Put a couple of drops in. It's good for your skin, but it's good for everything because it smells so good. And
Nice.
I breathe in myself when I put
And
it on.
that's
So
like-
this is essential oils
But
for
it's also, you could have
chakras.
crystals, like our hairdresser, Griselda,
Yes,
uses a
yeah.
lot of crystals, which has power. In honor of today's, I wore some jade. I thought these were earrings, but they're not earrings.
She
and I
said,
bought
"You
them.
better wear these earrings." I said, "These aren't earrings. They like hook onto like
Yeah,
a."
but they're chakra.
Oh my God! I was wondering why they were
I thought they were earrings. I said, no, we can, the ladies and I can wear some chakra earrings today, but they're not.
That is too funny.
But so just sometimes wearing, different stones on
Yeah.
you could also help bring.
Yeah, I was in Barnes and Noble, where I bought this book, and I bought the travel guides to Paris and London. And next to that section, they had a table, and they had chakra crystals. And I said, I don't know what the hell to do with these. I'm not going to buy them. They were $20. So,
Thank
but
you.
anyway,
Thanks, Peg.
That's
Good
Awesome.
topic.
So our next one, I believe we're going to have Steve Alpert here, and he is the artist that we talked about in our last podcast.
Yes.
So,
I'm looking forward to that one.
yeah, proudly
So stay
she served.
tuned.
as
Okay.
the- Thank you so much.
Bye bye, everyone. See you next time.
Yay!